Oh, you got to love that NCAA. Mike,
Well, they got no juice anymore, quite honestly.
safe
What's
travels
going on in Ann Arbor, man?
Oh, my gosh. Safe travels to you, sir. What high school game do you have tonight?
I have the Walter Welborn Panthers and the Cleveland County Tigers. Week 10 matchup, non-region game. For those who care, Welborn is 3A. How about this? This region here, Region 4, Class 3A, Welborn, Weaver, Sachs are all in the same region. And then in Class 4A, Jacksonville, Munford, all these schools around us, the southern half of the state. I don't know who draws the lines in Montgomery at the AHSAA, but and I think it was 4 years ago before the most recent realignment, Cherokee County actually was in the southern half of the state.
Really?
With the way they had it, yeah, in Class 4A. So it's sort of crazy. So Welborn has won their region, so they'll host either Flomaton, Hillcrest of Evergreen, somebody like that. It's coming from south next week. And that other in Class 4A, Jacksonville and Hanley and that bunch, they'll play some schools from the Mobile area as well. Or either Anniston's got to travel to Mobile. They're the 3 seed out of the region. So they got to go down that way next week. And they don't know who they're playing yet because you got a 3-way tie in that region.
Really?
Yeah, so all these non-region games have an impact on what happens down there tonight too. So.
Well, have a good call tonight and tomorrow morning.
You too.
Safe travels, sir. Safe travels.
All right, brother. Thanks, man. Enjoyed it.
Likewise. That's Mike Paris, the voice of the Jacksonville State, or the Jacks State Gamecocks. My mistake. Let's talk to the man himself, Wes Neighbors, on the Neighbors Wealth Management Hotline. How are you, Wes?
I'm doing great, Steve. Doing good. Getting ready for tomorrow, right?
Yeah. I just wanted to do a little breakdown of the early game tomorrow that I think is gettable, but, I mean, South Carolina should win.
Well, yeah, but other than the fact that Jen picked them to lose, and she's hot as a firecracker.
So, yeah.
Didn't pick them to cover. Picked them to win outright.
Sure
Last
did.
week it was Kansas. She picked Jack State earlier in the year.
Yeah.
They pulled it out. So, really, for the conference, I hope she's wrong. But I don't discount what they've done so far this year. You know, they've been more right than they've been wrong by a long shot. So it's interesting pick. But yeah, you would think South Carolina would be able to pull it off. But I agree with the last caller talking about the job Rich Rod's done. It's incredible. Nothing short of incredible. And you know, the guys won before. I mean, they were perennial power when he was at
West Virginia.
And I guess he went to Michigan. It didn't work out.
No.
That place is not for everybody. Obviously, he didn't have the right scouting program. And, so, you know, anyway, it's interesting to me. Everywhere you go is not necessarily a good fit. But, you know, obviously Jacksonville has done a good job getting him. You know, Alabama tried to hire him years ago, and that didn't work out. So,
what was that, about 17 years ago, wasn't that?
Yeah, it was a long time ago. That's right. I'm glad he's at Jacksonville State. I'm glad he's doing well.
Yes. Well, what do you think about Alabama LSU, Wes?
I think it's the game of the year. I really do. A parachuter just right beside us, Steve.
Of course he did. Of course he did.
Kidding.
Yeah. No, I know. You know, I know you're not kidding. The fact that a parachuter just landed right next to West Neighbors, it's a day that ends in Y in your world, right?
It's just weird things happen. That's all I can say. Yeah. Anyway, so this game of the year. I'm so excited about watching this game. To me, because I think it's the best offense in the SEC. To if not the best defense, one of the best defenses. For the West, you know, there's so many teams that are depend on this game. You know, if LSU loses this game, they're pretty much, they're not going to make it to New Year's Day Bowl, and it'd be a disappointing season for them. But if they win and keep winning, then all of a sudden their season turns around. They were picked to win the West. There's high expectations in Baton Rouge. They haven't lived up to them. That's obvious. And this is a big game for Alabama because this is, they left Alabama for dead again. And that's what and there's one thing that's for sure is they're not dead. They've been getting better, and but the matchup is a good matchup for LSU if you ask me. They have really good receivers. Is Alabama able to shut them down or keep them from just eating us alive? The penalties that seem to disappear, do they show back up?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Will the crowd be able to be in it and put LSU in worse situations? The thing scary about LSU, it could be, 3rd and 25 and they get it. So you can't take a play off. I mean, third downs are going to be huge in this game for Alabama. And then, they get in the red zone, they're throwing it to the end zone. Get ready. 11 and Malik Neighbors both are really good receivers, and they get the ball to them. They're well coached, and it's going to be if Alabama can play for 4 quarters, I think they'll win. If they don't, then they haven't played for 4 quarters all year.
Yeah.
And if they do that, if they can play for 4 quarters, they'll win the game.
We have not talked too terribly much about Auburn Vanderbilt, and for obvious reasons because of how bad the Vandy defense has been playing really the last 6 weeks-ish. But I am curious to see from a consistency standpoint to see how well Auburn can fling it around tomorrow.
Well, it's just not just consistency. It's about getting better and building on last week. First of all, go in there thinking you're going to beat Vanderbilt and not worry about it. What happened? Watch what'll happen. Auburn's not a good enough football team to go in there, but I think they're getting better. I think they're excited about the way they played last week, and I think they'll continue to get better. And you got to watch out for Vanderbilt's receivers, but who's going to be quarterback? The quarterback, the guy that started last week didn't end.
Yeah.
And they got a big 6'7" quarterback, but he's not his time is not there, right? Where the first guy could get the ball down the field pretty good. It did against Georgia. We're able to score a couple quick touchdowns on Georgia before Georgia kind of got their feet under them and ended up beating them. But this is it's an SEC football team. Now, if Auburn goes in and takes care of business, plays like they did last week, or even played, I think it'll be better as they build. They just need to continue to get better every week.
Do you have
a lot of winnable games?
Yeah, they do. And the next one after this is at Arkansas. Do you have any kind of read in the Arkansas-Florida game tomorrow? I have no clue.
They're both teams with kind of a box of chocolates. And I think the wheels are starting to come off in Arkansas. I hope that he'll be able to save it because I think he is a good coach. They got to remember what he took over. He got them there pretty quick, Yeah. And then now they're having a disappointing year, but they've been in it every game. So I think they need to just be patient with them and just remember where they were. They were the worst team in the Southeastern Conference since Texas A&M and them came in when he took over. And now they're not. So they're having a bad year, no doubt. But I think the guy's a good man. He'll get it. I think he'll get it turned around. But now by him firing the offensive coordinator, I'm not there, but it appears to me that was to appease people. And once the tail starts wagging the dog, it's not long.
Yeah, that's dangerous. That's danger zone right there. Who has a better shot at pulling what is, at least according to, I realize Missouri is a bigger underdog, but A&M at Ole Miss or Missouri at Georgia? What team do you like more tomorrow?
So I think that, obviously Georgia's a better team, but they're a bunch of kids, everybody's pounding how good they are because they beat Florida, which I don't get. I think they are a good football team, but this team is
Florida's,
not, yeah. This is I think, but I think they'd have to help, especially being at home in Georgia. They would have to make a bunch of mistakes to lose this game.
Yeah.
But and is Missouri going to show up, or the first bad thing that goes wrong with Missouri, will they be able to hang on the road? Those are all questions I can't answer. I don't think Georgia has a good football team. I wouldn't bet on this game because, I think it could be close. I think it could be closer than the line. But anyway, Georgia has a good football team, though. I think they'll play close to the first half, and then Georgia will pull away in the second half.
Mississippi State, Kentucky as well. That's another game that I just have no clue about.
Well, I would think that Kentucky should be able to win this game. Mississippi State does have some talent, but not enough. And their spread.
Still don't know if Will is going to play tomorrow or not. So. Yeah,
and then you look at what we did. Ole Miss. I mean, to answer your first question, I never really answered it. Yeah. I think that Texas A&M is a dangerous team. They're fighting for the coach. They have a lot of really good players, like Lane says. They have some NFL type players. Ole Miss, I think their record's better than they really are. I think they've done a hell of a coaching job on both sides of the ball this year. Yeah. And they're using they plugged a lot of holes, and they're getting better. Now, this is a huge game for them because, to me, if they win this game, they sends them to a whole nother level now going into the Georgia game, And so this is as big a game in Oxford, and they don't know it, that there's been in a long time. Because pretty much it guarantees they're going to win 10 games.
Oh, yeah.
And that's a huge thing, huge. In recruiting, they step up, they're number 10. Even if they get beat by Georgia and don't get blown out, but get beat by Georgia, they're going to be a top 10 team at the end of the year.
Yeah.
So it's a huge thing for Lane and the Ole Miss Rebels to win this game. This is a big game, and you got a wounded dog coming into Oxford. You got to be careful with wounded dogs; they'll bite you.
Yeah. Well, I hope you enjoy where you're at, and we'll reconvene on Monday, sir.
All right, sounds good. Great. Looking forward to tomorrow's football, that's for sure. It's going to be a all-day long event.
Yeah, just saddle up and find yourself a Barco Lounger and have at it.
There you go.
Thank you, Wes. We'll
see you, bye.
Reconvene on Monday.
Look forward to it.
Yeah. It is.
Hopefully we'll all be happy.
Hopefully. It's a little bittersweet right now because this is the last instance of time to love to lose some money.
Your money or your life.
I can take money and I can make it into more money.
Well, it doesn't have to be the last time, right, Steve? We can still make this like a little special thing, kind of.
We can absolutely make this happen.
Yeah, I mean, all I want is to give the good people of Huntsville an opportunity to make money off of me by telling them, don't do this.
Yes.
So, yeah, let's go ahead and jump right into it then. So, I'm traveling all over the country this weekend, Steve, for my games. Have you seen those tweets from Kirk Herbstreit where he kind of like shows where his planes are going that week?
Oh, yes.
That's kind of what I'm doing today. So, I'm going to start on the West Coast here with Washington and USC. My blood feud against Lincoln Riley continues, and with good reason, because their defense has really showed the entire country lately just how bad they are and how bad they're going to continue to be. Washington has kind of struggled a little bit. I mean, they had that great win against Oregon, one of the best games of the year for sure. And since then, they've really struggled. I don't know if you noticed, they barely beat Arizona State and they barely beat Stanford. Those are two of the worst teams in the Pac-12. I think, though, that USC is the salve that heals all wounds when it comes to an offense that's having trouble scoring points. I think that Michael Penix is going to set them on fire, and the Trojans are just not going to be able to keep up. So all that said, Washington is a 3-point favorite against the Trojans. Give me the Huskies by double digits. Staying in the Big Ten, moving to the Big Ten, which is what Washington and USC will be doing after they finish killing the Pac-12.
I was about to say, I think you were spot on. You're good.
It's basically the same at this point. So I'm going to go with kind of an afterthought one here. An early game in Nebraska at Michigan State. It was what I've got second. So the Huskers are a 3-point favorite. I don't know if you paid any attention to Nebraska this year, Steve. They
Very little.
Started
Very
0-2, and everybody's like, oh, same old Nebraska. What else is new? Well, they're actually 5-3 now. A win tomorrow would get them bowl eligible for the first time since 2016. As for Michigan State, the nightmare is kind of continuing for them, and I think it's going to continue. Quite honestly, Huskers are only a 3-point road favorite, but they've got a really good defense. Their defense is ranked in the top 15 nationally, and I think that's enough to get the Huskers a 3-point win or more. So, and we're gonna see Nebraska in the postseason for the first time in 7 years. After that, I'm going over to the Big 12 now. This is the third conference that I've hit so far.
That's right. That's right.
You know, I'm really there's a real bittersweet feeling. A lot of bittersweet feelings in this studio today, Steve, because I think this may be the last time that this rivalry game that I'm looking at is ever going to be played.
You're going to Bedlam.
I am going to Bedlam. Bedlam is a game that is near and dear to my heart, Steve. We had
Never's a long
up.
time.
Yes.
Never's a long time.
Yes, but I don't see how Oklahoma has an interest in playing this game, because I think once they're playing in the SEC, if they're going to look to a rivalry out of conference, I think they're calling Nebraska every time, unfortunately.
Well, people change minds, and there was a lot of people thinking Texas and Texas A&M would never play again.
That's true,
so,
and we are getting, although we are only getting that because Texas is running scared. So, yeah, because they can't even win their conference there, so I don't know what they expect to happen once they're in the SEC.
Went to Bama and beat Bama.
Yeah, but I don't know. Flash in the pan.
Oh, okay.
But so looking at this game, it's kind of been a tale of two programs, honestly. Oklahoma State started off really rough. I think we remember, at least, Steve, when they lost to South Alabama 33-7 at home.
Oh, yeah.
Like, are we sure this isn't a typo? Like, they flipped the scoreboard on accident? No, that really happened. But since then, Oklahoma State hasn't lost a game. They were undefeated in October. Meanwhile, Oklahoma's October was a little rough around the edges. They had that big win against Texas in a dogfight, but then they barely squeaked by UCF in the Gus Bus, and they actually lost to Kansas last week. So definitely kind of opposite sides as far as how it's going there. As far as Oklahoma State, they've kind of found a new star in Ollie Gordon, their running back. So I tallied up his stats from the month of October, and I'm actually not making this up. I had to do the math a couple more times to make sure I didn't have something wrong. In October, Ollie Gordon had 999 total yards and 9 touchdowns in 4 games.
Wow.
Yeah. I know, about literally as close as you can get to 1,000 yards in a month. I'm not going to say that continues, because if you do the math there, that's averaging around 250 yards a game. I definitely think that OU has a better defense than what Oklahoma State has faced lately. But I don't know. There's something about this. Now, having gone on this whole long spiel about this dying rivalry game, this is a weird one too, because it seems like it doesn't matter how good Oklahoma State is. Oklahoma just kills them every time. It really is sad to watch. Oklahoma State has had some great teams just in the last couple of years, and they get to this game, and Oklahoma's on the other sideline, and it's like they just get the yips, or they can't get past something because they just get destroyed. I mean, I think last season Spencer Sanders threw 4 interceptions in the first quarter when he wasn't really turning the ball over. Yes, now an Ole Miss Rebel and a backup.
Yep.
They just don't do good. And when they don't get blown out, they lose in heartbreaking fashion. So I am not going to pick spread here. I'm going to pick the over-under. I'm going to go 61.5 points with all of this, because I think this is going to be something that's either 51-13 or something like 38-35. I don't know who's winning there, but if it's 51-13, Oklahoma's winning, because that's what always happens. But yeah, we're going to go that over 61.5 for the possible last meeting of the Bedlam series in football. They'll probably keep playing in baseball and basketball, just like Texas and A&M have been doing, but sadly nobody really cares about that. All right. Last two stops are going to be in the great state of Alabama here. I haven't picked any games for our hometown teams lately, just because I haven't liked the lines. But we're going to start, although this one is technically in Tennessee tomorrow. We're going to go Auburn at Vanderbilt. Auburn's a 12.5-point favorite, and that is not a typo. 12.5 points is the line for Auburn, one of the worst offenses in football this year. I think it's pretty absurd. Vanderbilt, though, has given just about every reason to justify that. They're also going to play two quarterbacks this weekend. So, Steve, that means that we may have a very rare 2 QB system versus 2 QB system on Saturday. So if you want to watch bad football, you need to be on SEC Network at 3 p.m. because
3 o'clock
this is
tomorrow
going to be
afternoon.
Hilariously it's going to be the stupidest game ever. I mean, you're going to have quarterbacks switching in for both sides. I don't know. I don't
Set
even know
your
what's gonna happen.
DVRs now.
Yes, absolutely. Please do. Actually, no, please don't, because we don't need this game memorialized. And so I'm gonna go Auburn minus 12.5. I just, like I said, I think Vanderbilt's just giving every reason for this line to be as high as it is. They've got a lot of issues right now. I don't see how they cover that, but. Vanderbilt Stadium is a weird place for Auburn to play. They've actually lost their last two tries there, and had some other crazy stuff happen the time before that. Weird series here. But we're going Auburn minus 12.5. All right, and the last one, landing in Tuscaloosa, game of the week, doubleheader for CBS. I got Alabama minus 3 over LSU, and I'm taking the Crimson Tide there. And really, the only reason that I need for that is because LSU is missing 4 defensive starters on what is already not a very good defensive unit.
Yeah.
Jalen Murrow's getting better every week. Like I've watched pretty much every Alabama game this year, and I really have been impressed with him. I'll admit that. I'm not above admitting that. And I don't think that Jaden Daniels is going to be enough to overcome those injuries on his defense, which already isn't a very good unit. So I do think that Alabama's going to hold on and win by more than 3 points.
That is love to lose money. I rarely put my opinions out there on how I feel. I'll occasionally do it, but I do like LSU tomorrow.
Interesting.
I do, and it's pure and simple Jaden Daniels because of how consistent he has been. Although the Tide defense is pretty spectacular too, it ought to be a fun football game.
Yeah.
The direct opposite of Vanderbilt Auburn would be LSU, Alabama.
That's very astute, actually. Is this the last time we're going to have to listen to Gary Danielson call an Alabama-LSU game?
It is. Hey, unless Gary Danielson ends up signing a contract with ABC and ESPN.
Oh, gosh,
so,
don't give them ideas.
Again, never say never.
Right.
So,
Thank
you very much, Jackson. Let's go ahead and take our first time out. Rest of the way is your phone calls on a Pick 2 Friday. We'll be back.
You're listening to The Drive with Wes Neighbors and Steve Moulton on 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
Tom Luganbill here for my friends at Woody Anderson Ford. Bobby White and his team take great pride in their service department, and you can see it the moment you walk into those beautiful new service lanes. And just like a championship team, they all work together to make sure your experience is second to none, whether you drive a Ford or not. Also, check out the gold certified pre-owned inventory at Woody Anderson Ford for great deals every day. Stop by and see them at Jordan and Sparkman or at Woody Anderson of Madison on Hughes Road, or visit WoodyAndersonFord.com.
Chapman Commercial Realty, your source for Alabama commercial real estate. Chapman Commercial Realty has the experience and expertise you're looking for when making commercial real estate decisions. If it's office space, retail space, investment property, or project development, Chapman Commercial Realty is your answer. Call Bill Chapman today at 256-656-8413. That's 256-656-8413. Or find them online at ChapmanCommercialRealty.com.
Not looking or feeling your best? No energy for the things you like to do? Ready to look and feel younger? Make your appointment at Advanced Life Clinic, one of the region's foremost destinations for patients interested in looking and feeling their best. Specializing in advanced laser treatments and weight loss, male and female rejuvenation to offset the effects of aging, and more. See how Advanced Life Clinic can help you enjoy your life again. Call 256-882-6555 or log on at advancedlifeclinic.com.
Are you tired of power outages disrupting your life? It's time for a Generac standby generator from Current Electrical. Storms may rage outside, but inside your family's powered up. So why choose Current Electrical for your generator needs? 1, we offer a wide range of models to suit every budgeted energy requirement. 2, our project managers handle every step of the process: power, gas, permitting, and inspections. 3, our certified technicians install your generator with precision, ensuring peace of mind. Don't wait for the next blackout. Call 256-880-1880 or visit us online at GenSuperstore.com.
Ann Adams with Berkshire Hathaway Rise Real Estate is the one name to know if you're buying or selling real estate. With years of local experience, Ann Adams offers buyers in-depth knowledge of the local housing market and will narrow available properties down to those you'll be interested in so you can save time when shopping for your new home. If you're ready to sell, Ann offers a seamless process using accurate pricing and expert negotiation skills to make sure you get a fair price for your home. Call Ann Adams today at 256-337-2625 or log on bhhsriserealestate.com.
When I chose a garage door company, I did my homework. I needed Precision Overhead Garage Door Service. They have a 5-star Google rating. I checked their reviews and liked what their customers had to say. Precision Overhead Garage Door has lifetime warranty packages. Same-day service if I call before 2 p.m. If they can't make it the same day, my service call fee the next day is waived. They did a 25-point safety inspection on the door and operator. Now that's peace of mind. Residential, commercial, and gate services. Precision Overhead Garage Door Service. Call 256-400-4500.
Tom Abraham here for my friends at North Alabama Mortgage. Did you know that average home equity is at an all-time high, but so is average consumer debt? Even though rates are higher now, you can use your equity to pay off your high consumer debt, student loans, etc., then refi when the rates drop. Don't put off that new home purchase. When rates drop, prices will go up. Buy now and get the best price and then refi when the rates drop. This is the time to talk to the experts at North Alabama Mortgage. Visit NorthAlabamaMortgage.com for more information.
Great food and the best live entertainment is what it's all about at the Furniture Factory Bar and Grill. Head to downtown Huntsville every Tuesday for karaoke on the only outdoor karaoke stage in North Alabama. Thursday night is the Valley's longest running and biggest bike night. Food and drink specials, giveaways, and live music on the patio. And the Furniture Factory menu is fully loaded with options from steaks to salads, plus a whole lot more. Featuring a weekday happy hour that starts at 3. 619 Meridian Street, downtown Huntsville, and online at FurnitureFactoryBarGrill.com.
This segment of The Drive is brought to you by Woody Anderson Ford, located online at WoodyAndersonFord.com with 2 locations, Hughes Road in Madison and Jordan Lane in Huntsville.
It is a Pick 2 Friday, walking you up to Week 10. We've got action all over our streaming network tonight, be it Madison Academy here at Westminster Christian. That'll be over the airwaves and on Zone 2, where we've been all season long. Zone 3 will feature Randolph as they visit Fairview, as they head down to the Coleman metropolitan area. And Zone 4 has Sparkman taking on Muscle Shoals, as Sparkman looks to apply the tourniquet after winning 5 in a row. They've lost 4 in a row, so looking to close things out with a W. And over on Zone 5, Tom Abraham will have the play-by-play call of the Huntsville Havoc taking on the Pelham Bulls. That's right, the Pelham Bulls are in town for the weekend. I'll have the call tomorrow night. That'll be on Zone 5 as well for tomorrow night, so a full night for you on our streaming network. Badger Larry starts us off on a Pick 2 Friday. How are you, sir?
Doing good, Steve. How about yourself?
Doing real well. Appreciate your patience.
Do you got the Madison Academy game tonight? Is that which one you're doing?
I do. Westminster Christian, Madison Academy. It should be a fantastic game.
That should be. Good for you. Enjoy that.
Thank you. I'm excited about it.
Well,
you ready to get in on Pick 2?
Yeah, I just want to make sure I didn't win last week, because I did pick the game.
Claude was your winner of Pick 2 last week.
Okay. All right. Well, then yes, I'm ready to get in this week. Who we got?
LSU is at Alabama.
Roll Tide.
And Texas A&M is at Ole Miss.
Ole Miss.
Your tiebreaker, total passing yards for the Auburn Tigers against those Commodores up in Music City tomorrow afternoon.
Good Lord. That's a tough one there. Auburn can't throw the ball. They can't hit the broadside of a barn. But against Vandy, anything's possible.
Well, they threw the ball decent against Mississippi State, but then again, who hasn't thrown the ball decent against Mississippi State this year?
Yeah. Let's go with 185 yards.
Uh-oh. There you go. That's a winning number. All right, Badger.
Should be a good day of football tomorrow.
Absolutely. Should be fun. Right, thank you, Badger Larry. 256-576-4977. Mark is up next. How are you, Mark?
I'm doing good, Steve. I wanted to help you out on your pick. I know you got LSU winning. Here, a little trivia question. When's the last time Alabama under Saban lost 2 home games?
2 home games. I'm trying to sit here and think. I went back to 2010 in my head because that was a 3-loss year, but that's
the first year he lost at Auburn. He lost
La Monroe
at LSU. Yeah, but and if it could be that first year, but that's the thing. I think a lot of people, if LSU only had 1 loss, they got 2 losses. But,
yeah.
I know, but you got a right to, and you can be objective because you're not an Alabama fan. So I hope you're wrong, but
yeah,
I'll look forward to calling the show on Sunday. It's a good show.
I appreciate that.
Yes. Okay, so pick 2. I like Alabama.
Mm-hmm.
I like Texas A&M.
You got it.
And I like Auburn's quarterback, however number there are, to throw for 140. I'd say 140 yards.
140 is yours. Thank you, Mark. Jeff is up next. How are you, Jeff?
Good, Steve. How are you today?
Doing well.
Let me just jump on pick 2.
You got it. Bama hosting LSU.
Let's go Alabama.
A&M at Ole Miss.
Ole Miss.
Total passing yards for the Auburn Tigers.
185.
It is yours.
Thanks, Steve. Have a good weekend.
You too. I'm assuming LSU Lynch. Is that right? LSU? Uh-oh. Are you there, LSU Lynch? Okay. 256-576-4977. The number to be a part of the program. Had an opportunity to talk to some coaches earlier in the week. Sam Pittman among them as Arkansas travels to Gainesville. You remember the last time that this game was scheduled, the head hog himself was unable to go because he was battling COVID. Wanted to ask about the progression of your offensive line. How do you feel like they've progressed throughout this season, Coach?
Well, obviously we haven't had as much success as an offense for a lot of reasons, but we haven't played well up front this year. I think the kids will understand that as well. I know they do. And playing well means playing all together, and that you got to add the tight ends in that as well. And so we're a work in progress. We've got to get better. We understand that. We're working at it very hard, which means we might need to cut down some of the things that we're asking them to do, and maybe some of the plays that we were running, maybe we didn't have the capabilities of doing those up front. So we certainly cut down our offense some, added some things to help those guys. But it's all about determination, grit, passion, And we've got to get that back to that group and the entire offensive side of the ball, and I believe we're well headed in that direction.
And, Coach, tell me if I heard you right or wrong on Monday in your visit with the media. You mentioned about cutting back a little bit on the recruiting visits. It felt to me like a circle the wagons type of mentality just to kind of focus on this team and the rest of this year. Is that fair to say, Coach?
I think it's fair. We're certainly recruiting, but wins have a lot to do. It will help you a lot in recruiting, and we need to put a great product. We owe it to our kids that's on the team to we've got to help them and put a great product on the field, a nice team on the field, and especially since we made the change at offensive coordinator, there's so many things that we have to get right offensively. Defense has to continue to play well, special teams as well. But we're certainly recruiting, but I did not want to send guys out on the road. When we went to Florida, I wanted them with the team because we need to win a game.
That is Sam Pittman. Let's try to squeeze in Mark before our final timeout. This is Mark number 2, much like Mr. Wrestling number 2. How are you, Mark? Are you there, Mark?
That's surgery. No, this is just everyday pain medicine he takes.
I'm sorry, I didn't hear you. It sounds like let's go ahead and take our final timeout and just saddle up for some more Pick 2 on the other side. How about that? We'll be right back.
You're listening to The Drive with Wes Neighbors and Steve Moulton on 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
Built to win. Touchdown, Alabama! Built for championships. Throws intercepted, Alabama. Built by Bama. Alabama is still Alabama. The Crimson Tide play here. Join us Saturday as the Crimson Tide take on LSU at Bryant-Denny Stadium. Our coverage begins at 3:30 on your home for Alabama football.
Listen to Alabama football all season long on 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
Here's Bobby White from Woody Anderson Ford on their service department.
President's Award winner 2 years in a row. That's only given to the top 10% of Ford dealers in customer satisfaction. So we're very proud of the service department. And our body shop. If you happen to get into an accident, which not a lot of people just want to go down and see a body shop, but if you get into an accident, award-winning body shop. We have state-of-the-art paint booths back there. They're waterborne paints that we use, friendly for the environment. We've got our production system, the way things are in and out. We have the fastest cycle rate in town of getting your vehicle in, getting your vehicle out, and assured that it's fixed right. We take pictures before it's wrecked, and not only after, but we take it as we're putting the parts on. All done to above industry standards. So I'm proud of our body shop too. Don't forget our parts department. So if you don't happen to need parts, performance parts, or just parts if you're a weekend mechanic.
Woody Anderson Ford, located at the corner of Jordan and Sparkman, as well as Hughes Road and Madison. You can also check out the great deals at WoodyAndersonFord.com.
Electric cars are coming faster than you think, and that's why we're bringing SEMA Connect to Alabama.
Our team educates you and helps provide a long-term plan for your business. Where to put them, how to get them there, how to pay for them, tax incentives, service, and monitoring. We take care of everything.
Doing the right thing means bringing EV car chargers to Alabama. Let us help you with your EV charging plan.
The kitchen is the heart of any home. It's where the family gathers. It's where kids discover old recipes and make them their own. Just starting out or just now getting started on the dream kitchen you've always wanted?
I'm Chris Haygood, and from all of us here at Bob Wallace Appliance to the home builders and the homeowners of the Huntsville area, a heartfelt thank you for buying local. We're in Huntsville, Florence, and Coleman, and online at bobwallaceappliance.com.
Hi, this is Wes Neighbors. I'm here with Sam Fleming with Fleming Roofing and Restoration. Sam, tell the folks about Fleming Roofing and Restoration.
Hey, Wes. Our company, Fleming Roofing and Restoration, specializes in commercial and residential roofing and repairs. I'm a fifth-generation Huntsvillian, and our family's been doing construction business in Huntsville area since 1965.
Sam, what kind of roofs does Fleming Roofing and Restoration do?
Our guys are skilled enough. We can come out and address any kind of leaks or issues you might have on your commercial, on your metal roofing, on your shingles. We can do anything, and we can offer you a solution to repair it, or we can replace it.
Well, you guys also do insurance restoration.
Our staff has 10-plus years of experience as insurance adjusters, and we really do know the inside and out of the claims process at Fleming Roofing and Restoration.
Check out Fleming Roofing and Restoration online at FlemingHSV.com, or you can call or text them at 256-651-9440.
Hey, Wes, we show up.
From the Fox 54 Weather Center, I'm Chief Meteorologist Jordan Dressman. A mostly sunny sky this afternoon. Temperatures climbing into the mid and upper 60s. For the first time this season, it might actually be just a touch on the chilly end of the spectrum for Friday night football. Temperatures gradually falling into the low and mid 40s. A mostly sunny sky for your Saturday. We are going to see temperatures climb, highs in the upper 60s and lower 70s, dropping into the mid and upper 40s as we head into the overnight early Sunday morning. A beautiful Sunday afternoon, plenty of sunshine. Temperatures climbing into the low and mid 70s. Maybe a little more cloud cover for Monday. Still plenty of sunshine though. Temperatures climbing into the mid 70s. I'm Chief Meteorologist Jordan Dressman on your home for ESPN Radio, 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
Hi, this is Eli Gold, voice of the Alabama Crimson Tide. Join us every week for Alabama football right here.
Listen to Alabama football all season long on 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
All right. Hey, here's an oldie but a goodie in terms of phrases that I used to use for our man Ray Ray back in the day. Let's go lightning round. Ray Ray used to love the lightning rounds for pick 2. Let's start off with LSU Lynch. How are you, LSU Lynch?
Don, you know what? It's the day before. It's the day before.
Yes, it is.
So, but look here, you know, my kids, they go to Westminster. You know, my nephews went to Madison Academy. Yeah. So, So, anyway, there's so much to say about this Alabama-LSU game. Let's just watch it play out. Let's just watch it play out. Because I'm going to take LSU.
Okay. How about A&M and Ole Miss?
See, look here, man. This I wouldn't bet either. Look here, come on. Let's go ATM.
Woo! Okay, that'd be their first win in quite some time on the road. I think it was an at Missouri game 2 years ago, 3 years ago,
well, look here,
something
man.
like that.
Look here. They whooped our damn ass last year in the last game. Okay, they due for some kind of win. Okay, or they're gonna have to write a check. So I mean, good Lord, I don't need no champion chicken gift certificate. What's the next one?
Total passing yards for the Auburn War Eaglers tomorrow up in Nashville.
Really? Oh, Lord. Oh, I've heard some. Yeah. Let's go, 150?
It is yours, Lynch. Enjoy the games tomorrow. I know you'll be front and center for quite a few of them.
Well, look here. I've got 2 gallons of gumbo coming at 9 o'clock in the morning. I'm going to listen to you. I'm going to listen to you, and I'll call my game tonight. So, and I appreciate you doing that. And I always appreciate y'all taking my phone calls and everything. But look here, LSU, this is an angry weekend. Because it's so much Lord Moulton. It's so much riding on this game. I mean, this is going to be a different type of Alabama-LSU game.
Why do you say that?
It's going to be exciting. Win or lose, I'm still going to be an LSU fan. I'm still going to call into the show. It's going to be a great game. I really do think so. Y'all have a great weekend.
Thank you, LSU Lynch. Keith, you are up next, sir.
How are you doing, Steve?
I'm good. How you doing, Keith?
I'm doing fine. Just enjoying this dry weather.
Feels good out there, especially you saw that wind starting to blow from the south, and that always is helpful this time of year.
That's true, very true. Steve, I'll just get on pick 2 if you don't care.
You got it. LSU is at Alabama.
I'm going with Alabama.
A&M is at Ole Miss.
I'm going to take Ole Miss.
Total passing yards for the Auburn Tigers.
171.
It is yours.
Thank you, Steve.
Thank you, Keith. Bryce is up next. How are you, Bryce?
I'm good. Let's go Bama.
You got it?
And let's go to Lane Train.
You got it?
I think I'm a little high on this, but I'm going to go 95, Auburn passing yard.
95. It is yours.
I think I'm a little high, but we'll see.
Thank you, Bryce. Ron from Decatur. How are you, Ron?
I'm good, Steve. Thank you for taking the call. Enjoy
Yes,
the
sir.
show.
Thank you.
I just want to jump on pick 2.
Bama or LSU?
Bama.
Ole Miss or A&M?
Ole Miss.
Total passing yards for Auburn?
158.
It is yours. Thank you, Ron. Best of luck to you, sir.
Thank you, Steve.
Next segment will be your final call for phone calls. Going to re-rack an interview that Wes and I did earlier in the week with Rick Neuheisel to help break down both Missouri, Georgia, as well as Alabama, LSU. And if you missed it, he also suggested a punishment potentially for Jim Harbaugh that I thought was interesting as well. Sports Center update, and we'll be right back.
Tom Abraham here for my friends at North Alabama Mortgage. Are you thinking about home improvements? Well, use your equity now and refi later. Or use your equity to eliminate consumer debt forever, then refi to a lower rate and shorter term when rates drop. North Alabama Mortgage can also help you if you're thinking about buying an investment property or a second home at the lake or the beach or in the mountains. We have great programs to make that happen. Visit NorthAlabamaMortgage.com to learn more. That's NorthAlabamaMortgage.com.
Looking for your next game day party destination? Well, think outside the box and kick back at Flow Supreme Air. And you may be thinking, isn't that the trampoline place? Of course it is. But it's also the one-stop spot for all things fun. And if kicking back with the boys to watch the game is your jam, then you're in the right spot. Jump or not, Flow tends to all ages, meaning while you sit back and watch the game, but little Jimmy's having the time of his life perfecting that front flip he most definitely wants to show you. You got this, Jimmy. So next time you think Flow, think fun for everyone.
ESPN Radio and WCZN, Union Grove, Huntsville, Alabama. 97.7 ESPN, The Zone.
This is SportsCenter.
The NBA unveils their new tournament. I'm Chris Smith. The inaugural in-season tournament will tip off tonight, and ESPN NBA analyst Zach Lowe breaks down the 30-team competition with the 6 groups of 5 teams each.
3 Western Conference groups, 3 Eastern Conference groups. The groups are semi-random in that they are meant to have a total cross-section of team quality from the previous season at least. So you have an elite team, a couple good teams, and a bad team from last season. All those teams will play each other head-to-head once. The 6 group winners will advance to the quarterfinals. 2 other wild card teams, who will be essentially the best number 2 teams from each conference, will also advance to the quarterfinals. So that's 8 teams, and from there it gets very easy. It's just a single elimination tournament.
The tournament will culminate with a championship in December. We have an in-season tournament group play doubleheader on ESPN TV, starting with the Knicks and Bucks in Cream City in 30 minutes, followed by the Mavs and Nuggets at 10 p.m. Eastern. The Mavs coach Jason Kidd did not travel with the team to Denver due to a non-COVID illness and will be replaced by assistant coach Sean Sweeney. On to the NFL, where Bears quarterback Justin Fields returned to practice for the first time since dislocating his thumb on October 15th. Fields is officially listed as doubtful to play against the Saints, as rookie Tyson Bagent is expected to start his 3rd straight game. And Cardinals QB Kyler Murray listed as questionable to play against the Browns on Sunday. And coach Jonathan Gannon says Murray will have a big part in the team's decision for when he should return from an ACL tear, but that the quarterback is still working towards playing again.
This is Evan Cohen. Hopefully you are familiar with our game, ESPN Phone Tag. We pick an ESPN guest or any guest, and they pick our next guest. It started with Mike Greenberg. It continued with Joe Buck. And on Monday at 9:15 a.m. Eastern, John Smoltz joins us on Sportsmanlike, 6 a.m. Eastern on ESPN Radio.
97.7 ESPN The Zone. Welcome to The Drive with Wes Neighbors and Steve Moulton. Call into the Neighbors Wealth Management Hotline, 256-576-4977.
That's how I roll. And I'm not going to drink and drive anymore.
That's 256-576-4977. Now, here's Wes and Steve.
Final call for phone calls. Final hour of the week is upon us as we're an hour away from kickoff. What is the final week of the regular season in high school football? Hard to believe, but the floor is yours. 256-576-4977 is the telephone number. Let's start things off with Grumpy on the Neighbors Wealth Management Hotline. What do you say, Grumpy?
Pretty good, man. Living out in the country, though, I can't get my internet access on this iPhone to look up any Vandy passing stats, so I'm going to have to take stats down. I'll take Alabama.
You got it.
And what was the second game?
Ole Miss or A&M?
Where are they playing? Sorry.
Ole Miss.
I'll take, golly Wally, that's going to be a good one. I'll take Ole Miss.
And total passing yards for the Auburn Tigers.
I'll take 132.
It is yours, Grumpy. Always good to hear from you. Joe is next. How are you, Joe?
Doing great, Steve. Headed to the Bob Jones game. So wish us luck.
There you go. That ought to be a good game.
Yeah, I think it will be. We've had our week of rest to heal up a little bit, so maybe we'll do. Maybe it won't come down to the wire like the Decatur game. We've had enough of them down to the wire games, I can tell you that. Anyway, let me get on pick 2 and I'll get out of the way.
LSU or Alabama?
I got to go with Bama. I called in last night on the Nick Saban show.
Yeah.
And I told him I was Tyler from Spartanburg. And the guy was going to put me in his ass. And I said, whoa, wait a minute.
Yeah, Joe, come on. That would have been fantastic.
I know. We'll see what happens next week. I didn't get on the show anyway, so.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Yeah, you would have had a greater probability had you been Tyler from Spartanburg, South Carolina.
Well, after I told him that I wasn't Tyler, he said, I just caught on to what you were doing. Anyway, it would have been funny. I would have had to crawl out from under that right quick. It put me on.
Ole Miss or Texas A&M?
I'm going to take Ole Miss. I'm going to take Lane Kiffin in this game.
And total passing yards for Auburn is your tiebreaker.
Well, they down to one. They're only going to do one quarterback now. Is that what they're saying?
Who are you talking about? Auburn. Oh, okay. I have no idea. I mean, that's the speculation. I have not heard Hugh Freeze saying we're only going to play one quarterback. I have not heard him say that sentence. Doesn't mean he hasn't said the sentence, but there's been a lot of speculation that I've read, especially from 247 Sports, about the keys being handed over to Peyton Thorne, but I don't know that for a fact, Joe.
Hell, I understand. I'm going to take 125, we'll see.
It is yours. Thank you, Joe.
Well, have a good night, Steve.
You too. Tyler from Spartanburg. Mike is up next. How are you, Mike?
I'm doing fine, Steve. How are you?
Doing real well. Appreciate you asking.
Good. Well, I'm going to go with the Tide.
You got it. Ole Miss or A&M?
I'm going with A&M.
And total passing yards for Auburn tomorrow?
209.
It is yours. Best of luck to you, Mike.
Hey, thank you, sir.
256-576-4977. Philip is on line 4. I didn't realize we had a line 4. How are you, Philip?
How are you, brother? Good to talk to you.
Likewise. Been a minute.
It has been, yeah. Need to get in there and sell some insulation and brick.
Well, all I've got to say is, 30-something degrees the other day? I mean...
Right, yeah. That's right, yeah. Absolutely, yeah. But I wasn't calling to do a commercial today. I was calling to give my kid some grief for quitting on you guys. I don't know why he would stop the amount of money you guys pay him, why he would ever leave a job like that is mind-blowing to me. I guess I didn't raise him right.
It's clearly a reflection on bad parenting. I
can't dispute that.
And I'm a little disappointed. I guess Wes is probably at the beach or Acapulco or.
I can neither confirm nor deny that.
It doesn't work on Fridays now, I guess? That's the new
it's called Johnny Carson syndrome, and I hope to be there one day myself. Although, if you remember back in the day, Johnny wouldn't show up on Mondays. So
right.
That's my whole goal, is to just turn Monday into my off day one day in about 15 years, hopefully.
Well, they say Wes, Steve, you can't hide money, so you got to get out there and enjoy what he's got.
Sounds like you're listening to a rock station in the morning.
Oh, man. But I had to call in and chime in, too, with this pick, too. I've never done that before. And as a sponsor, I'm sure I can't win. I would donate my prize to that LSU guy.
Well, we can make something work. Yeah,
Somebody
absolutely.
Else can get it. I don't want to win the prize, but there's a whole lack of faith in the Auburn passing attack, so I want to chime in there for sure.
LSU at Alabama.
LSU, and I will absolutely. I don't usually listen on Fridays, but I listen Monday, Thursday most weeks. I will be listening Monday for Mark to call in, talk about Saban's second home loss ever. So I definitely want to listen to that. So I'll take LSU, and I like Ole Miss.
All right.
And is 201 the high mark right now on the pass?
209. 209 is the high mark.
Take 235.
Man, he is
Surely
just going to be slinging it
No way.
around.
Well, Robbie Ashford's got a good arm. If, the guy's wide open, so we should be fine.
Well, you should have plenty of wide open folks tomorrow. You should.
That's right. Yeah, absolutely. So
should.
Sad I'm not going to be there. I know Jackson's going. But seriously, I did call to tell you guys thanks. I know that nobody wants to listen to me that's listening right now, but thank you guys for taking good care of him and showing him the ropes and letting him do something that he's always wanted to do. So as a father, I appreciate that.
No, that is no problem. It's been a lot of fun getting to know your son quite well here over the last, how long has it been? I'm kidding, Jackson. Anyway, but I don't think this is the end of the relationship. Even though he's moving on, he's always got an open door here. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Well, yeah, listen, he's earned some money, so I hope he comes back soon because he's not moving back in with me. So. Hey, great show. You guys enjoy it. And big War Eagle to all my Auburn Tigers. It sounds like nobody that calls in for the Big Two is an Auburn fan, so I think I'm the only one. So War Eagle to everybody, and go buy you Bengals. Don't tell my wife I said that either, Steve, please.
Thank you, Philip.
Take care. Thanks, guys.
And by the way,
you see the resemblance, right?
It felt very love to lose money-ish there.
Yeah, that's what I tell a bunch of my friends before they meet him. Is like, if you have anything that you wonder about me, just meet him and you'll have your answer.
Nick is up next. How are you, Nick? This isn't Coach Saban, is it?
No, it's not. I'm doing okay. How are you?
I'm good. Thank you, Nick.
Yeah, I just want to jump on the pick two.
You got it, LSU at Alabama.
Roll Tide.
And Texas A&M is at Ole Miss.
Give me Ole Miss.
Total passing yards for Auburn is your tiebreaker.
Give me 207.
207 is yours.
Appreciate it, man. Y'all have a good night.
You too. 256-576-4977, the telephone number. I did ask Lane Kiffin about this losing skid for Texas A&M. It's now 7 in a row for Jimbo.
I don't know. I hope it keeps going, but obviously they've played dramatically different at home and the road, and I think that should commend their fans that when they play at home, they play better because the home field advantage, and one of the loudest places in the country, and probably the loudest continual place for an entire game in the country. So I would credit their fans for that, for helping them with that, playing better at home.
Kevin is up next. How are you, Kevin?
How you doing, sir?
Doing well.
First time caller, long time listener. I listen to you guys every time on the way home from work, so I figured I might as well give it a shot.
Thank you. I appreciate that. Where are you from, Kevin?
Originally from Florida. I just moved up here to Alabama back in April.
Well, there are seasons up here in North Alabama, unlike if you live below I-10.
Yes, sir. That is true. I'm loving every minute of it.
Good. Glad you're enjoying the area.
Yes, sir.
You want to hop on pick 2?
Yes, sir. I would like to.
All right. Alabama playing host to LSU.
I'm going to go Alabama, even though I'm a Florida State fan, but I'm going to go Alabama because I live here. I have to.
Wow. It's a good year for the Noles so far, and
yes,
you should really be going with LSU because of what that would do to your strength of schedule. But
very true.
I digress. Ole Miss, Texas A&M. Who you got?
I'm going to go for the long shot with Texas A&M.
And total passing yards for the Auburn Tigers is your tiebreaker, Kevin.
I'm going to go $175.
It is yours. Appreciate you calling in.
Thank you, sir. Y'all have a good one.
Have a good weekend. Cliff, let's squeeze you in, shall we?
Sure.
How are you, sir?
Pretty well. How you doing?
Doing good. Doing well.
I have it figured out.
Okay. Explain it to me. I don't have a lot figured out. I need some help.
Alabama.
All right.
And Ole Miss.
You got it.
And 188.
It is yours, Cliff.
All right. And roll tide.
I will give you a go Dogs in rebuttal. But I appreciate you calling in, Cliff.
Okay, thanks.
Coming up at the top of the hour, we'll have Madison Academy football for you over the airwaves as I'm here at Westminster Christian. But on the other side, we'll re-rack a conversation Wes and I had with Rick Neuheisel. So let's go ahead and take our first time out. I'll talk to you in a few minutes.
Log on today, 977ESPN.com. You're listening to The Drive with Wes Neighbors and Steve Moulton on 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
Here's Bobby White from Woody Anderson Ford on their service department.
President's Award winner 2 years in a row. That's only given to the top 10% of